Okay, so this is part 2 of my diagnosis from my EMU stay. So I've been talking to the neurologist now for a couple weeks on the phone and through email. I see him on September 16th, which I think I've said. I can't remember anymore. And he's kind of been sending me a bunch of articles to read, and that way when I go there on the 16th, I kind of have an idea, I guess, essentially, of the diagnosis that he has for me now, and that way we can talk more about treatments rather than him having to explain anything he said. That way, just come in, and if I have any questions, he can talk about it and stuff. Like, I had an hour and a half block with him, but he wants me to understand as much as I can prior to my appointment and in my appointment. So he wants me to be as informed as I can as before I come, and come with as many questions as I can so we can go over questions, which I think is awesome. I've yet to come across a doctor like that. But actually, come to find out, this is kind of really random, but my mom's primary doctor trained with this guy, because my mom's primary doctor used to be a neurosurgeon, and he didn't want to do that anymore, so he went into pain management and family medicine. And so yeah, kind of really random, because she just switched to this guy in May. It was May, because I remember getting her an appointment with him, and so I researched him and was like, oh, he's a good one. He went to where all my doctors are, and yeah, come to find out, last month, he was like, I used to go drinking with him, and it's really random, but a really random side note. Okay, now I'm going to go back now, before I go really crazy. So yeah, my diagnosis, the reason that they have come up with why I have orthostatic hypotension, all my kidney functioning and all that came back normal. My endocrine tests came back normal. Well, for the most part. I think there was something that came back abnormal. I can't remember, but my pituitary gland, stuff like that, the normal stuff, my thyroid and stuff like that, that would have been causing really low blood pressure, was normal. What came back abnormal was indicative, he said, of pure autonomic failure. So he was really shocked by this, because when I first talked to him, the very first appointment I had with him, and the only other appointment I've ever had with this guy, because I saw him and he said, I'm admitting you to the hospital to figure this out. And he did. But he did not think this was autonomic at all. He was just it just doesn't sound like an autonomic problem. Just by the symptoms you're describing. And since I've been talking to him, he's just it kind of really surprises me that the tests are definitely indicative of pure autonomic failure, he said, because when I first spoke with you, it did not sound like that, he said, but after seeing it and seeing how, just how you respond every day, and how just your everyday, he's you're just so happy. He said, but your life sucks. And I was just like, thanks. Kind of weirdo, but okay. But sometimes, I guess with autonomic stuff, it doesn't always sound like it should. But I'm really happy. I know it sounds really weird, but oh, you have this diagnosis. No, I'm really happy. So my official diagnosis, and it was actually updated now on my account for their website, which kind of freaked me out. I checked it, I get this email going, something on your account has been updated, and I was like, what new has been posted? And I start reading all this stuff, and it's like, oh, her symptoms are secondary to autonomic dysfunction, and like all my H&P stuff, and what else did I say? Like, my medical history now says, like, pure autonomic failure and neurocardiogenic syncope, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. Like, because this is stuff I have no control over, like, put into my medical records. Like, you know when you go to doctors and they're like, oh, what kind of stuff have you been diagnosed with in the past, blah, blah, blah. Like, I cannot change what is posted on there. Everything has to be verified by a doctor, and it literally has to, like, if I was to tell them, oh, well, I was diagnosed with carpal tunnel, well, they have to speak with the doctor that diagnosed me with it before it can be placed on my medical records at this hospital. It's crazy. So, like, for it to actually like, be on there blows my mind. So I'm like, oh my gosh, it's really official. Like, wow. But yeah, so those are my diagnoses now. It's pure autonomic failure and neurocardiogenic syncope, which is different now from POTS and neurocardiogenic syncope. Completely different. I'm still trying to, I have like 10 more articles to read that he has sent me about the pure autonomic failure. The only thing I've really gathered is it is mild and degenerative and causes very low blood pressure when you stand up. Pretty much all I gather so far. And the main medicines I failed at in the past. I've looked at the medicines, and every one of them has the 3 that I couldn't have. So I'm not sure what medicines he's going to come up with. I know he's been talking like IV fluids and stuff like that. Right now I avoid the heat as much as I can. Which is really hard when it's like 100 degrees outside. I wear compression stockings or sleeves. I'm wearing compression sleeves right now because it's so hot outside, as well as compression shorts. I have complete sleeves for my calves, and I'm wearing compression shorts. I wear compression sleeves on my arms most of the time. I'm not now, because I went out, and it was really hot, and if it's really bad, I'll wear like abdominal binder. I have to be really careful what I eat, because I have to eat small meals, because a lot of time my blood pressure tanks after I eat, which is bad. Which they noticed as well in the hospital, so I'm just like, oh, glad it's not just me. But like, I can't even go outside in the heat, my blood pressure bottoms out, even if I'm just sitting. Which is, I think, driving my nephew crazy because he's cooped up inside all day when I'm home. Trying to think what else right now. I am on, obviously we do a lot of salt. I started salt tablets last week. I take about 9 or 10 a day, as well as adding salt to everything. So that's at least 10,000 milligrams of salt a day, if not a lot more. I am taking like Allegra D because my allergies are so bad here, and it actually is double beneficial because it helps to bring up my blood pressure a little bit, but at the same time, like, my heart rate goes incredibly insane, so I have to be really careful of it. I can't take it every day. I take it usually every other day to every like 3 days, just because like it lasts in my body for a couple days. So like if I was to take it Monday, I might take it again like Wednesday, maybe Thursday. Maybe Wednesday, probably Thursday, more likely. It just really depends. I have to be really careful with it. Otherwise, then I'm debilitated because my heart rate is way too high. But my blood pressure at least then gets kind of to my normal, so it's kind of like wishy-washy, right? I am also on a very high fluid diet, diet, I guess you could say. When I was discharged from the EMU, they told me I needed to drink half of my weight in fluid ounces a day. When I went to the cardiologist, he changed that to 100 ounces minimum a day, which is a lot harder than it seems, because like I hit maybe like 50, and that's not even half my weight, and I'm just like, I want to like puke because I can't eat anything else for the rest of the day, which is really hard because one of the medications I'm taking makes me not hungry, and so I'm already having to force myself to eat, which then I get really sick. I'm really nauseous, and I'm puking a lot more because I'm not hungry. So then, like, I eat something, and then I start puking because my body's just like, oh my gosh, like my stomach doesn't know what to do with it. So it's been interesting. I'm sure the neurologist is gonna be like, we gotta take you off your seizure medicines because we upped it. It's not, I'm not using it for seizures. I have really bad like muscle jerking spasms. They even noted it in the EMU, and so they upped the dosing because it was helping with that. They put me on it for migraines. So yeah, I can't think of anything else treatment wise that I'm doing right now. I said a lot. I'm using a wheelchair some, especially when I'm out in public, which is kind of weird. I'm not used to that. So like if I go to the store or something like that, I'm using a wheelchair. I went to the beach and I used my compression stockings while I was on the beach, which was kind of weird because I was wearing like my bathing suit and still walking on the beach with like compression stockings, like sleeves on my arms and on my legs, and it was just really weird. I'm sure people were like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with this kid? I wanted to walk on the beach, and without them I collapsed. So yeah, even with them I was about to collapse, so it's kind of interesting. But yeah, that's about how that goes. I'm gonna try, I'll make a video after I see the neurologist on the 16th. Definitely make a video. And I will try to make more videos more often, especially since I'm trying to do a few more things. So I will make a video with some of the things I've been up to lately, because y'all are going to be shocked by some of the stuff I've been doing with all this going on, because I'm shocked. So, yeah, I hope everyone is doing alright, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye, guys.